I'm curious to see, yeah, if there are any changes. And so you mentioned that you want them to kind of keep it to their standard.
This is what I wanted to see.
The Neon, Breach, Sentinels are going to be running a bit of the same. And so a lot of this then goes to me around how are you going to layer some of that utility. We're going to see B main traps. We're going to see A main traps, particularly on the defensive side. I think this lends into some of that chaos into that you were talking about prior to the series starting, where this does kind of favor Giants a bit.
Yeah, it does indeed, but we're still talking about SEN, right, at the end of the day. And if you look at it on the other side, this is almost best in slot. They're so comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And again, to me, my eyes just keep heading towards Zekken, because I think he plays such an active game on the Neon, obviously on the attack side too, but you have to be very worried for what he does in mid, especially on the defensive side. GiantX need to be able to shut him down on those walks to tiles or the boosts up just on that mid ledge on the right side.
Yeah, and I know Grubby didn't have the best start on map 1, but he is an absolute menace on the defense sometimes here. His paranoia timings are fantastic. He's not afraid to get aggressive as well. I'm sure Sen's going to know this, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to be able to abuse this as well, because Sen, Uber and Wyatt on the verge of starting their champs run with a 2-0.
I'm sure Yinsu, they'll be very pleased with that. But, yeah, we're aware of the narrative of, you know, GX struggling a little bit at the start of these series, although if you watch the Fnatic game, you wouldn't be aware of it. Sentinels, however, going to a map like Sunset, which, by the way, obviously great map for GX. It's probably their home map. They look excellent here. We kind of thought Sentinels would too this year, right? In 2024, this was absolutely one of their go-tos. It looked fantastic, and it made its way back into the map pool when Toronto kicked off. And we did not see that same level from Sentinels here on Sunset, and since then, they've not really made it their own yet, I feel.
Yeah, they've been very mixed in terms of the results here. GX, however, have not been mixed. They've only lost this map twice, both times to Liquid,
right? Yeah.
And outside of that, they have 5 wins on it. This is absolutely their best look. We're getting West Side on that Cypher where he thrives right now on the B anchor. A lot of damage through onto Bang. Gonna need some support. Going to need a flood.
I think they know where West Side is right now. And look at this. They've inserted Zekken onto the site, and the rest of Sentinels have actually pulled out. Zekken might have an opportunity here to really ruffle some feathers. And it all really remains to be seen on what the landscape looks like as this dark cover clears. He'll stay tucked in. Re-smoked to B main, and Cloud diligently is looking to clear this corner very carefully, but Zekken is not looking towards his left at all, just kind of hedges on the right side. However, Grabinho flattened it A, run over by Sentinels, who now can accelerate into the site and start to set up for a post-1.
Unfortunate that GX lose a player immediately after that, with some nice awareness from Cloud to pick off Zekken, the initial first kill. Zelsis ready to flash, maybe to fight towards spawn, but no, Sen going to call that off.
Because of the one-way, likely.
He's just playing right now with that fault line towards Link when GX try to get back in here. They do have a good amount of breach util of their own to do so.
Zelsis still holding onto it. Veins starting to emerge on his forehead now. Patience, patience, and release. It's onto the site now. Ara the only player in, though, and it's staggering. The spacing of players has really thrown Sen for a loop. The narrates some sharp shooting. It's just not remotely enough. And in a 4v4 retake, GX looks sharp.
GX are really fantastic at playing around their breach utility on this map. This is still the map in the pool where breach is very much so relevant. It's the only map in the pool where breach actually has a above 50% win rate against non-breach comps. So it makes sense that both teams are playing it here.
Zelsis swings from that box on A side, expecting there to be more players behind Ara. But actually GX slowed things down. Ara goes ahead, and they've still got 2 players tucked on Link, who later emerge, and the timing completely throws them off. Also, Ara just knocks heads together on the site. 3 kills for him.
It's a map, by the way, if you haven't seen Sen for a bit, where John is back to playing the Cypher, just straight up one-to-one swapping with Zelsis, who's now picking up that initiator, playing the breach. This is something that Sen have opted for since Toronto, going back to John's old role where he had so much success in 2024.
Oh, okay, and a rare miss from Ara there. Actually allows for some of the mid-control to be assumed by Sentinels. They are, of course, on nothing but the classics.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to make any investment after losing the pistol when you know you're going up against Ara on defense. 100% of the time he's going to have the
full armor.
Yeah, you need the full armor every single time you're going into that initial buy round.
Flickless here inside the site. This is awkward. Very awkward. Flickless able to get through though. Zekken for a moment. thinking to remain towards top mid, but now it's going to be a large flood across here into market. Westside not able to find anyone. Some damage on Delta, but the looks of things, and Second takes the fight to him like a bat out of hell. It ends up being a trade at backside. Westside for one, but John gets in there with the classic. Flickless overwhelmed. Sentinels running in numbers. And Agrabino with the Bulldog has to salvage the situation.
Cloud only has the Ghost right now. Probably can't recover. A gun goes in. Zelsa's just
Not
ready
good.
for that.
Here's Grubby though. A little more than a one. Much needed, and Sentinels on nothing but classics. Once again, shilling the bundle. Get that top mid control and go mark it very quick.
The GX players just not synced up at all here. Aura is caught in alone. Westside spent a bunch of time just spamming through that cage that was thrown in market so Sen could cross the site. So he's a little bit late to getting in to actually help Aura, who fully commits, stays, tries to kill Zekin on the slide.
For no reason. I didn't even yell at them. I didn't even.
And from there, I mean, GX, they just really mistime their players coming into Flood and assist. They're essentially all isolated in ones.
I don't hate this position from Cloud. It's so dirty. Zekin walks up into it. And so GX will take their pint of blood early in the round. Nicely done by Westside.
Stunning shot.
And this is GX for you. So active in these early rounds, so proactive, looking to work the map, push up for info, take risks. And it's given them the edge, even if not the rifle drop there in B main.
Now Westside hears all of these players running forward, catches one with the cam. GX are trying to be fast on this rotate, and Celsius isolated. That relay bolt forced narrate back, or he would have been caught.
Frustrating for Celsius. He certainly would have felt stranded there as the rest of Sentinels pulled the plug. Now I have to try and work the map with only 2 players up. Narrate considering a double back here. Someone who's been very vocal, Wyatt, in saying that when he can contribute more to the ideas of this team, he feels like the game goes better, but he struggles when he's not performing well to have that voice.
Aura takes this contact, but that haunt ensures that Westside's position, I think, will be revealed. I couldn't tell actually if he broke that, if it was flickless. Regardless, Sen do not want to get into that B site. They know there are multiple players there. Yeah, but what options do they have?
They've had no mid control at all, and Gravino is able to scope up in time to deal with John. And simply, he will pull back now towards the middle of the map. Oh, nice little angle there held by Gravino. A fantastic thrifty from GX. And again, Sentinels try the same thing, burst the pace onto that B site, but very heavily disrupted by the breach util of Flickless.
They're able to, I think, throw the guns around at the very end there too. Maybe get Flickless one? I couldn't tell. They were trying their best to recover all the weapons though. That was a great relay bolt from Aura, who was getting in to assist Westside so fast on that rotate.
We lost against Eco.
Can't blame the guy for being pleased about that. It feels like it's so hard to get
Give it
bored
back
watching
to Celsius a little bit. He stood up for their Eco.
But he didn't know what to say, really, did he? He just sort of stood up. Gravino, whoa, they're having problems standing on their feet right now, Sentinels. Cut down aggressively. Gravino is able to push up here, and Flickless can only go 1 for 1. Still, the Sentinels committing all of the remaining resources to that elbow part of the map. It'll leave Zelsis limping away with the recovered Phantom and 8 in the chamber.
Nice shot from Cloud. Very quick with that reaction. Sen just go for the NA Stinger Rush, but GX a little bit too stacked up towards elbow with the much better weaponry. They make light work of that.
That's how it looked off the rip. The ping is very good. It's a freebie for Gravino. Shoot the dart, boys.
No one ready for that one.
Can't navigate all of that util pretty effectively.
Yo, shield down, sit down.
What was the first one? Shield down?
No, a little sit
Shield
down.
Shield down.
A little sit down. Sen, all right, well, we're getting into mid pretty quick. R's been able to pick up that operator quite early. And the buy for Sen honestly isn't great because they committed a fair amount into that Stinger round. They didn't get kills. They didn't, only a couple. They don't get the plant, obviously. So the armor, not ideal. Bang with just the Guardian.
And on Corrode, as soon as they knew that Ara had an operator, they stopped playing his parts of the map. They avoided him entirely. This time, no, not the case. They've got the Neon, of course, who can take this space aggressively, but Ara's going to repost up on this corner and might have a timing.
And the danger is where Aura's in a location, you want to go elsewhere, and then you're running into the site that Westside is anchoring, and that is where he's at his absolute best. especially when he's playing Cypher.
They do have the option, of course, to try and play top mid, pull the rotation through, and all this get gunned down, apparently, by GX. Man, that's going to lock Sentinels out of the round. It feels very hard to bounce back from that. What, are you going to go back to the side that Ara's still posted up on?
Very cool from GX that they pivot into that high-low setup mid after assuming that Sen will be rotating away from A. Ara's reposted up towards elbow, so then they're ready to just gun them down midway through their rotate. They read the situation well, and they, you know, as a team, will always do something proactive around that on defense, even if it is just setting up, you know, a high-low open face like that to get the man advantage.
I'm always really impressed by the sheer number of different set plays that GX can put together on defense. It feels like they've always got something. Like Pipson has them drilled to a T. But this team, right, who in this form we've only seen since, what, the end of stage 1? Who, what, they won one game of kickoff? What, one game in stage 1? Now they're at champs?
Yeah, they were 7th, 8th kickoff, finished 9th, 10th stage 1, and now they're at champs. And that is also a testament to the impact of bringing in Ara and Flickless right at the end of that first stage. Sen, they make away with 3 rifles, saving on that prior round. Invested so heavily into this one, of course. They have that Nightfall to play around from Narrate, and they're just but 1 orb away from getting that Rolling Thunder for Zelsis.
Okay, that was a TP across tiles by the looks of things by Bang. Smoke top mid here. This is already drawing that potential high-low setup across for GX, leaving A pretty lightly held.
But they're okay with that. It's Ara with the operator posted up. He's getting all of that information just by existing there.
Safe pair of hands for sure.
This drone heading into mid is going to at least spot out Zekin. These dark covers are going to need to be cycled yet again from Bang up towards top so Sen can safely maneuver around this area of the map.
That's the second one being used. Of course, to be able to use a third should be required.
Now, it looks like Sen at some point, do they just want to see if someone is over towards A? Are they going to make noise and then try to pivot back into a B split? I don't think they really made any noise towards A just yet.
I think Zelsis wants to probably find a fault line opportunity when it comes back available, but Zach is going to go straight into market anyway. Sees the trip, clears it.
No, he gets killed. Wow. Sen are trying to pivot into some kind of crazy A split right now. A smoke is placed top left mid for Zelsis to maneuver in. Orso has this operator not spotted out.
Dangerous there, very dangerous, but Bang goes for a diligent little shoulder peek. Ara, those asking for more, and there's no opportunity to trade it back. Flickless may have fallen. That's a breach util gone, but most of it was already expended to the favor of GX now. We've got 12 seconds left in the round. Sentinels accelerating here. My goodness. Threatening to break the sound barriers. They hit that A side, and all of GX get drawn out into the town square.
What an insane execute from Sen. That's a crazy pivot back towards A. Making it seem like they were going to go through market, then they smoke top mid for Celsius to kind of re-flank up top while they're going through main. That was madness.
Ara's set up here ends up being what? The trade is the play here from Link. Narrate has his crosshairs set already for that emergence out of elbow. And Sen just send it. They got no other choice. John is...
Wow, he went crazy.
Yeah, he's disgusting in some of those moments. I think the pistol 3-piece as well back on Corrode. Another moment memorable.
Yeah, he's had some insane individual plays so far today.
Cloud did not look pleased with how that round went.
I cannot believe that they won that out. Because Zekin goes down immediately in market as well.
On Sunset right now, it feels like GX kind of locked down the entire map. They've got really good setup there in market. It catches out Zekin. Ara's posted up on the A side of the map. Pretty reluctant, I think you are, to push into that kind of setup. Especially when, you might have a Prowler available to you or something like that. Seems like Sentinels just took that situation in their own hands. Raw gunplay on that A side allowed them to open it up. But that's not something that's replicable, right? That's not exactly a core strategy or heuristic that you're going to lean on over the course of this attack side. Sentinels need to make use of this timeout, which they've called.
Yeah, and to that point, yeah, it's Kaplan calling the timeout despite getting that round win. It did kind of feel like a Hail Mary that they just threw to win that one out.
I mean, that is very much just trying to make the most of what you have left. Bringing the lemonade recipe out here to Paris, I guess. But again, tough to replicate rounds like that.
Now, we've seen from GX, when they have a Hunter's Fury, they often like to send it into spawn just like this. R will push down Robinho through mid. This is something that SEN need to be prepared for. It's a play that they like to activate that they've used in EMEA.
Zelsa's got battered there by the Hunter's Fury, and Grabinho winning in tiles is huge. It means that GX don't have to worry about
the spike is down in that corner. SEN are getting sold out by the dark cover, Paranoia going through, or in an isolated 1v1 though.
They have the Rolling Thunder to get A-main control back. That is absurd. A counter one comes out though. Flickless lets it go, but it's Grabinho who eventually falls by the wayside. Sentinels have not got off the starter's mark in this round, and Zekin's not there to double up. Now trying to at least play off this aftershock. Zelsa's got his, and it all falls apart. Talk about a team who likes to be assertive on the defense side. GX, more than most.
That is a classic GX play right there.
Keep them coming, baby.
They love to use an aggressive early ult. This is an exact round out of their playbook that we saw them use to win a round against Fnatic, for instance, in their matchup in the playoffs. This is what they excel at. Their strat book on Sunset is absolutely as dense as it gets.
And Sentinels have definitely seen that. Kaplan has definitely seen that. It didn't really seem to prepare them for it either way. What a nice look there for GX. Here's a fault line that'll force Cloud off the line, and in theory allow the cross back, but Grabinho finds a perfect window to punish that rate. And again, early in the round, Sen have been knocked down to 4.
It's good to see Grabinho really getting into the game here on map 2. I don't think that Corrode performance in any way is representative of the normal level of play that he is offering to this GX team. And he's starting to come to life here when they desperately need him to stay in this series.
The buy here for Sentinels is tragic. They want to try and work the map a little bit, but they've got nothing done over at the B side. Ara is there with the op. They've sort of sniffed that out, I feel.
Grabinho is still just posted up on this dark cover angle and knows he needs to get the hell out of here with his overdrive on the way.
Is he TPing? Yes, he gets out just in time, but he TPs into the relay bolt. Flickless though, sharp shooting, gets himself set up backside. And crucially, Bank's still in play, so need a smoke to come back online for him. There's 30 seconds left in the round to probably cover up, that spot in spawn. But Ara has had time to get here with the op. John, he sprays through smoke. Realizes Flickless is there for the taking, and Bang maybe doesn't know the lay of the land before he TPs in like that. Another 3 for John, but not enough for Sentinels. That's the 6th round to hand for GiantX.
How dangerous was that, though? The spam to the smoke from John was crazy. He is on one right now.
That is a very insightful shoulder peek for Grabinho.
This just never should have been that close. 4 on 2, he gets the 2K just spraying the smoke. All right.
Hey, you gotta be feeling good here. Tough first map. Much improved on Sunset. They're gonna thrust down mid again. They're going for an R and tears that to shreds. Sentinels barely get out of bed before getting clotheslined. Ara finally taken down, but once Sen cannot get 10 seconds into the round with 5 players wide. They just can't do it.
This is just another play out of the GX strat book that we've seen from them before, and no team seems to know how to stop them. It's just the combination of their initiator util, the push down mid, a push through B main. There's a fault line that comes through B main that canvases all of bottom mid for Aura to fight. And then there's that recon up top. It's just, they run the same plays and it just keeps on working.
And here's a neural theft for John. Sees all of this at top mid.
The second baited into that swing, and I mean, why not? Cloud was right there using that drone, obviously. It's just good that he had support from Flickless for that instant trade.
Zekin doubled his entire kill total in that round, Wyatt. He had a quiet outing up until this point. John has been making plenty of noise. This timing is going to hurt them, though! Tell you what, that's value for ammo, isn't it? Flickless X's around with 3. GX, 5-round lead. These guys really lock the map down.
This is just where they're at their best. It feels like even if you prep for the rounds like this that are going to be thrown at you, it just doesn't even matter.
Dude, the util comes in perfectly for Ara.
This is just what they are best at. Look at how all of that util is placed on the map so perfectly. And it's that fault line that comes from B main that just gets the entirety of bottom mid into lower tiles, which is even covered with a dark cover, so Aura doesn't need to focus on the left. He can just fight right.
It's all set up
so
for him.
good.
And in situations where we've seen GX, go for similar plays, or if Ara notices that he's a little bit ahead of this util, he will slow down. Like, this is so well drilled from this GX team. They set Ara up for success so often. And this is a hand wringer for Kaplan.
This is stuff that Sen, I think, are expecting. They absolutely should be. They knew Sunset would be in this pool. They're not going to ever take it out, and it's always going to be picked by GX. So they've seen them run this stuff. They know it's going to come eventually, but it's another thing to actually have to deal with it in the moment.
I guarantee you, both coaches knew the exact 3 maps that would get played in this series when they came in.
Yeah,
I think
their map pools just have so much overlap.
Yeah. Like, these teams definitely behaved as you would expect when it came to the veto. So now Sentinels have to generate some momentum here. GX are locking them out of the map, and they're not doing it passively either. They are assertive, they are proactive, and they are more than happy to get into the face of America's #3 seed.
Now Aura's picked up this Outlaw, knowing that everyone on Sentinels is just going to be on the light armor. He'll be controlling that B main side, and the rest of GX on account of that can really put the emphasis on stacking A together.
Grabino here is going to be forced back, timing not quite on his side, but the paranoia came out enough to act as a relief valve. Flickless might try and work this angle with him. Not affected by the C's, but sprayed down as those bullets were intended for Grabino.
That was very, very dangerous for Flickless. He was getting stalled up by those bullet tags, slow movement. This is crazy from Aura. He's all the way out of B main, holding the exit. So,
okay.
I mean, GX, they know where Sen are hitting. They know that they're going A.
I mean, this is just breaking conditioning for Sentinels, who probably just aren't used to being in some of these positions. Ara, in no hurry to push off that. Full trust in the rest of GX to lock this A side of the map down, but this is where push comes to shove. Zekin gets onto the side behind the box, but the aftershock came through, and Cloud swings for the fences. 2 kills cleaned up, and now Ara decides to get a little active, catches Zelsis out. Timing certainly works in his favor, and Westside will step in when needed. Flawless round, and so many metrics there for GX. Untouchable on this defense side.
Yeah, they really do a lovely job of just fighting together on the site when the hit comes in. And Zekin getting stalled up in the back box. That was essential for the win there. And obviously Aura just getting the entirety of the map controlled by that Outlaw, flanking out a B main and holding their exit. Yeah, that was somewhat important too. Just a comprehensively great round from GX, who are running away with their pick.
Yeah. And Sentinels are struggling to adapt why they've not found a gear that suits them against GX.
And Aura has actually kept this Outlaw, does have a few 125 HP targets.
Zekin and John, though, they're the ones with armor. So John can have some confidence pushing into this.
Much faster from Sen. They're going for that 3-prong sight exec, splitting from multiple sides.
Now, how do they deal with the anchors, though? Westside's going to be dug in here, but Narrate steps up with the Guardian. They know, yep, Prowler confirms. Westside in the corner and only gets his one. Stinger goes to work for John. And a Nightfall now to catch the players rotate in. 2 pings at Boba. Tells the whole story for Sentinels.
This is a pace adjustment from Sen that GX were not expecting. Ooh. Crucial win from Grabino.
Ugly stuff with the Stinger, but util in hand for when Narrate steps up to the plate. And now it's on Cloud and Flickless to make their way through a smoked out Boba. Money, damn good for GX, and it might be worth going for it, but they are caught off the site. Cloud wants to wrap around, has a lot to say across the stage so far this game. He'd love now to show some bite with the bark wide. Nice swing. And second down, Narrate steps up, and Cloud might just be him right now. Bang is all over the place, and Flickless is more than happy to put him out of his misery.
Unbelievable retake from GX. It's Cloud just able to isolate. He gets that 1v1 against Zekin, ready for the swing from Narrate next. He is going insane on this map.
That is really nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. The desk touched on it. By far the most experienced player on GX. 5 years of play, and is yet only 21 years old, and has to be the leader of this team. And I love that we're seeing him give it back to Sen.
Yeah. Oh, is he indicating we won a 2v3 against you, I think?
Like, Zelsis stood up after they won round 2, and since then, Cloud has just been giving it to him.
It's a 7-round gap between these two teams. And look at how far back Sentinels are playing early. They're expecting some nonsense because Hunter's Fury is active. Cloud doesn't give it to him, though. Not in that way. Sen will be allowed to work the map here, but is it just them being given more rope? Mark is probably the loosest held part of the map here for GX, along with top mid now that pressure's come in.
And after just an absolute all-star performance from Zekken on that map 1, here on map 2, he has been completely nullified by this GX defensive util. Has really had no opportunities for clean entries.
No ping, though, being set up just yet. Looks like the Sova Dart comes in a little late.
Flickless has maneuvered his way into the site, ready to throw out some
Here we
util,
go.
but Sen are ahead of it.
All right, gets the jump on him there. It's going to be a relay bolt. Narrate just stuck to the ground, transfixed. Watches the sword fall. And there's a Hunter's Fury that Sentinels are waiting on. In the last round of the half, Sentinels are unlikely to put much of a scratch on GiantX. Spike is heavily within enemy territory, and John has to stand and face the music.
I mean, look at that setup that they pivot into so quickly. Flickless set up to fault line through main. Off that, the Hunter's Fury gets significant damage through, makes Sen scramble in their positioning. They have this double setup in elbow. What can Sentinels do here? Honestly, what can they do?
Sick. Honestly, the protocols have been incredible, and so many different set plays here for GX that have just kept Sentinels off their balance for the entirety of this attack side.
This is GX at their best, without a doubt. It's on this Sunset map, and it's with this playstyle.
Let's now send it over to Lou, who's standing by with GX co-streamers Lembo and Sandra.
Et je suis ravie d'accueillir à mes côtés 2 stars espagnoles. À ma droite, Lembo. À ma gauche, Sandra, 2 streamers GiantX. Guys, Lembo, Sandra, what a pleasure to welcome you here in Paris in those beautiful jerseys, supporting GiantX, of course. And we've seen that on map 1 it was a bit tough, so who can you count on the most within the players? You know, when times are a bit difficult, to bring up the vibes in the team.
I think our little Westside, because he's the clutcher of the team.
I think that's pretty solid too. What about you, Lembo?
For me, Flickless is so important in the communication, and his calls are winner.
Du coup, sur qui est-ce qu'on peut compter finalement quand c'est un peu compliqué? Ils ont perdu la map 1. Qu'est-ce qui remonte un petit peu l'ambiance dans la team? Et bah, du côté de Lembo, c'est Westside et également Flickless qui sont là. On a le facteur Westside pour les clutch et aussi pour les calls, on a Westside. Donc on va ensuite pouvoir leur poser la deuxième question. I wanted also to ask you, because we know that French and Spanish fans are very passionate, you know. So what do you think about our French audience? How are the vibes so far?
I think Spanish and French people are the most enjoyer of the esports, the more passionate people cheering for the teams. We saw in many events the blue wall, and wow, it's excited to see them.
Really beautiful fan base, right? Donc on voit que les Français et les Espagnols sont tellement passionnés à propos de l'e-sport. Ils adorent ça, ils se déplacent pour les fans, etc. Et donc, bah, qu'est-ce qui t'a impressionné finalement de la French audience? Et bah, tout simplement, ils sont motivés, ils sont là, ils font du bruit, notamment le Blue Wall, les fans, Carmine. And now, let's see if GX can take the win on Sunset.
The energy in here is great. I think something special about coming out to France to cover some Valorant. They have a legendary crowd, so we know that. It's only going to get more lively, I guess, over the next few days. Let's talk this match, though. Coinbase Econ report for you right now. A couple of players we want to highlight. West side here. Remember, the Econ rating, it's a metric, right, that we measure with the amount of damage done as opposed to how much is spent on your loadouts here. So almost 2K down to West side, 88.1, which is really quite high. This guy's been really rock solid, man.
He's been
controls that B side of the map.
Destroying Bang so far in this game in particular.
Everyone has been, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he is obviously on the defensive side at his best. But now that we're heading over towards the attack for GX, honestly, it feels a lot like the defense in the way of they play incredibly fast. You know, compared to the average in Europe, they plant the spike 10 seconds faster than all the other teams in stage 2. They send it.
That's a nerd stat.
They have so many crazy fast executes where all of the utility sequences are perfect. All of their timings are hit. They're really incredible on this map.
Yeah, it feels like against GX, you have to kind of beat them on an individual basis. And that's been hard to do with all this util slanting engagements in GX's favor. Big stack here of B main set up for Sentinels. That allows the west side to be extracted early, but there's Cloud standing tall. John at least controls any ingress towards that Bova area. And there's Zekin tucked in his corner. This is a pretty conservative approach here for Sentinels, but they are getting torn apart a little. Narrate lit here by the bolt. Leaks finds Cloud as he gets around the corner, but he's gone low.
Wow, Flickless able to dodge that out.
Narrate got into the sights. Spotted out by Flickless though. German unable to win that last engagement. It's a much needed pistol round here for Sentinels. And it looks like nothing more than grim satisfaction on their faces. They're still reeling from that first half.
Yeah, I like their decision to go for such a heavy B fight. GX do like to go for a lot of splits, so they can just isolate a couple of those players in main and then try to refight elsewhere.
One enemy layer standing.
Last few bullets there from the right. Important round for him. Some confidence for the young gun wouldn't hurt.
Second trying to keep the spirits high there. GX, no investment on this round 2. Maybe if Narrate can collect a few kills, Sen could work towards an early nightfall.
GX been pretty proactive here, getting some information about mid, but that tiles corner's been pinged already, and it'll be bang to take contact.
Conversely for GX, if they can try to maybe around the world get the orbs, they can get towards that Rolling Thunder early. They've been able to get Flickless the one so far.
Economically, Sentinels never really able to get in the game on the first half. That's evidenced by Zekin leaving it with 4 kills.
Except for when they win the eco on round 2 and then get subsequently ecoed on round 3 and the economy is cooked.
Here.
Pretty slow, very default coded look here for GX, of course. Hoping for something to be offered up by Sentinels, who are pretty patient, but they're definitely more leaned into the B direction. They'll have anchoring presences here, including John once more ready to shut him down from Boba. Prowler from mid. That's now cleared. GX basically contained by his util usage and now hitting the paranoia as they try and get out of market. John's there, Bulldog sings out, good damage. Cloud on the side, somehow able to win these very unlikely scenarios, but Ara is contained by Bang. Matches his freak, so to speak, and Cloud at 19. It's caught on the site, Bang knows he's coming and is trained on that corner. Still not enough to get him out of there. Cloud getting some pretty ridiculous 1v1 moments. And that'll be Sentinels convert on the pistol 1.
GX will be super happy with that. They get the spike down, they get a couple kills, and it's Cloud, who's now 1 away from getting a Hunter's Fury. That's easily going to be the first ultimate that'll be used in this game. You'd have to imagine, right? So not too bad for them.
I think this team has drawn criticism from some of the attack side calling from Cloud, and he's maybe sort of less experience being pointed out, but yeah, this is not the start that we're looking for on the attack side anyway. Now we get to see a little bit, though, of what's cooking, what's under the dome for Cloud. Not to mention that Hunter's Fury just a whiff away.
Fault line set up if there's going to be some aggression from Sen towards A main. The GX could go for a bit of a refight here. But it's just a safer cross setup for the Sentinels defense at the moment.
Fault line likely set up reactively here or to set Ara up.
And now they can get more aggro with it, especially with that drone getting the information.
Okay. So it's good reactive fault line that comes out from Flickless just to stop Sen pushing up. They really don't have any deep elbow presence. Look at them pulling back on A entirely.
Yeah, they're slowing things down, getting into elbow right now.
They don't really have information of top mid Sentinels here, so at some point they're going to have to start looking over their shoulders there at Link. Just giving that part of the map up.
Honestly, feels uncharacteristically slow right now for GX. Hoping that someone from Sen will maybe overextend. That Prowler's going to get the information on Aura in the corner.
I'm looking for decisive calling on this execute from GX. Waiting until, of course, some of that key util cycles back.
Yeah, they get that fault line back up, and now it's go time.
Aura onto the side, runs in and narrate first. It's going to be Bang, no credit with the kill. Bang gets ahead of that dark cover, and now the paranoia comes out late. Gravino thought he had the drop on narrate, but he couldn't have been more wrong. The raid eventually falls, and there it is. Nice little flash through the smoke. Little two-piece from GX now. Assume control of the side.
Westside peeks out, might be able to catch him. Second.
Timing.
Gets the opening with the Outlaw.
Relay bomb might make things hard on the side. That's John downed. Westside sharp as attack, folks. And Cloud will hold his ground there on the side.
20 for 8 right now.
Yeah, we've had 15 rounds of play, White. 14 rounds of play.
That is an outrageous stat line. Thought it would be hard to beat Zekins on map 1, but he might just do it.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, some interesting classic moments as well. The first couple of rounds kept him in the game.
I love how Westside repositions for those fights there.
Dude, John got
gets that kill on Narrate, then immediately gets back to play off contact so he can swing Link. Really intelligent stuff from him.
Going from, you know, bottom of the table in kickoff stage 2 to literal world caliber should be studied. GX, it's unreal how they've come alive. And now we're finally getting to see what they're made of in the second map of the series.
John has the trip set up for back sight control. We'll see if they try to make their way out at all. Second, I know John does get that catch.
Yeah, Ara in the corner. Still a lot of sight control for GX. Now they are deep. They can anchor in the post plant. Grabinho very mindful of a sort of off-timing push out of Boba, though.
And Zelsis, he does have that full kit to get back in. Narrate still with Prowlers to play with, the C's as well. Sen have all the tools.
Arnis Fury, though. Cloud going to try and preempt this now and spots out Bang by the looks of things back towards spawn. John tagged out, has the dodge away. Some damage done. Sentinels are against the clock. Need to get in here. Stinger there for Zelsis. Looks like 4 lines avoided by Flickless. He tries to get ahead of the game, and so far not too shabby, but Zekin is up on the site and demanding some attention. Brought down by Cloud, and Narrate's got to step up in his absence. Does Bang. Tough job. Someone's going to do it. And Flickless puts the round to bed. 12-4 for GX. Just dominant on Sunset.
If Sen can't get it done there, they can't get it done at all on this map. It feels effectively over. GX just 1 round away. They're 4-on-5. Sen have all of the initiator tools to get back in. Full kits used from both of them, and that's still not enough. Even then, Flickless not in the ideal position for that 1v1.
Doesn't matter.
Adjustment wins it out. Mental play from him.
I feel like Haven is such a wild card map to look towards our third here. Sentinels have to have put in some extra work there. When GX get to control the tempo, they look head and shoulders above.
Sen have just had no inroads on this map whatsoever. And it feels like the second they find some kind of advantage, GX just absolutely storm them in the round, and it is done. Their game plans on this map are just genuinely fantastic on both halves.
It's going to work mid again. Pretty underboard. Sentinels here. Zekin opts to go out, look for something. The setup was there for him.
Yeah, cosmetic stun. Just one taps him. Cool. That is crazy.
8 and 16.
And now after pressuring mid, GX is going to go back, meet up with the rest of their teammates in B main and try to close this game out.
2 pretty one-sided maps back-to-back if this round goes the way we expect it to. Some volatility has been introduced into this series. Okay, TP there from Bang. They get some set up in Boba nice and early. Johnny's in that corner, and Ara not able to fully clear it. Still suspicious, mind you. But John will have the drop on the site. Cloud with the plant now. Going to be forced out of the cubby by that aftershock, and John's going to have to get active. Another side of the cage set up. He does not want to show himself. I get it. But Ara and Cloud already racking him up. And John eventually falls. Zelsis pees in, gets one, but the rolling thunder will put him to bed. And Sentinels, well, they left the keys in the car. They didn't turn up the sunset, I'll be honest with you. Invisible. GX absolutely flattened them. Straight out of the gates. It's a code hanger that leaves the American squad absolutely reeling.
360 ACS for Cloud, who drops 23 for 9. That is an outrageous performance from the IGL for GX.